Alright, what's up, Helldivers? Alright, we're back here. Right now, I'm over here in the mech, dealing with some business here over on Frozen Planet. I honestly can't even remember what this planet was called. I actually really like it though. It allows me to use the sickle, which obviously cools down a lot quicker on these types of planets. And as you can see here with this mech, I'm struggling quite a bit with this Bile Titan. Honestly, I've emptied my whole clip almost in him, and it actually didn't kill him. So that's maybe if I had hit them all in the same spot. I thought I hit mostly, you know, in a pretty close spread. But anyways, that's not what this video is about. This is mostly about what is the best loadout right now versus, bugs in general right now. And for me, I think this might be it. And sometimes it can depend on the mission, of course, whether it's, defend or if you have the full 39-minute open world mission. Those are obviously the norm, kind of, most of the missions are this kind. And this is the majority of the missions you're going to find yourself for this kind over the times. Anyways, so what's the best way to deal with all these bugs, And what I've been using lately, this is it here. So what I'm using is the sickle, which helps a lot. And as you can see here, ooh, that quasar cannon is pretty powerful versus the chargers. And that's honestly what I'm making this video about. Is it shouldn't still be slept on even with the nerf, in my opinion. I know this may be a hot take, but I think it's still really good. This loadout has been doing pretty well, as you'll see here in a second. I'm actually gonna, die, but that doesn't mean that this loadout isn't good. I just had a pretty bad situation, and that was more my fault than the loadout's fault anyways. It happens. And so, yeah, I've been using the quasar cannon, the rover. Both of those are pretty much not essential. I mean, anything is pretty much interchangeable in this game, but this has been the most effective for me. So, the rover helps with all these small bugs that you find yourself around. They'll be running up towards you. You're focusing on the big ones. So it really frees you up to kind of, just deal with them, automatically. You don't have to touch them. You can deal with the big ones and get on with your business here. So that's a good thing about it. That's really why I use it. It's unfortunate you kind of have like a stratagem to use it once, and here you go. You see, it's not like I can't die with this loadout, but that was like my fault, not the loadout's fault. And so there it is. But the reason the rover is so good is, yeah, you can literally focus on the big ones. It'll kill most of the small ones very quickly. And yeah, so the quasar cannon, good for chargers. Pretty decent for Bile Titans. I mean, if you hit him in the head, it's like 2 or 3. I think 3 probably. If you hit him in the same spot, which isn't too bad. You're not gonna have that kind of time to just do it instantly. But yeah, it is helpful. And so, quasar cannon and the rover, those are the two kind of support weapons I bring in, basically. So for my primary on this one, I'm using the sickle. It's pretty dang good in my opinion, especially on this cold planet. Cold planet kind of changes it, makes it even better. Generally, I think versus bugs it is very good. I don't use it versus bots really. It is decent versus bots, but I'll make another video about my favorite bot dealing with a loadout, and that'll be in a separate video. As you can kind of see, this thing just takes out these medium to small size bugs very quickly. And even whenever you're running away, it'll still be doing damage behind you. So like it can thin out the chasing pack. That's literally kind of some of the main problems you can run into versus bugs, is when you get surrounded or you stop and then those little, I honestly don't even know what they're called, they come up and suckle on you. They pull you in and then they do a lot of damage. These guys right here, they're very deadly. So you gotta be careful. As far as these small bugs, yeah, it just takes them out instantly. You don't You don't really have to worry about them. And it takes out those guys as well. One thing it's obviously not going to help you with at all is Bile Titans. But those guys are where the next, I would say, really great stratagem comes in, and that is the Rail Cannon Strike. And that one, I mean, honestly, you can... Oh, they got that guy. They took care of that guy really easily, it turns out. I didn't even have to touch him. But anyways, the Quasar Cannon, I mean, we'll see here in a second. It's still very good. Yeah, almost fell off a cliff here. You gotta be careful when you run around, especially in these blizzards. I haven't seen a blizzard like this before. You don't really see yourself on many frozen planets. A lot of them are hot or just toxic. Kind of reminds me of No Man's Sky, to be honest. It's just how the kind of vibe of the planets. Anyways, yeah, so gonna come up here, go back to my loot, and I left this thing here a while ago. Came back to finish the job. Although as you'll see, it's not really helping too much, this orbital laser. And this is the next topic here, the little grenade pistol. Generally, I love it. I think it's a really cool little gun as for a secondary. And it just kind of proves and shows how many different options you have in Helldivers for dealing with these bugs, with the bots. I mean, it kind of allows me to, usually what I'll do is now use the secondary, the grenade pistol, and I will, for my grenades, use the stun grenades. And I kind of forget about my stun grenades in a lot of times, but that's what I'm using in this video, in this match. And as you can see, look, Rail Cannon and a Quasar did not quite take that guy out, which is crazy to me, and now I have to abandon my mech, but it did take it out eventually. I think maybe he was just bleeding, I don't know, but did take him out eventually. Now I don't have a Rail Cannon though, so the second one has to just run for now, I think. That acid, honestly the most annoying part is that it slows you. I think we're the Quasar, yeah, it's not really too viable versus the Bile Titan. You can use it, you certainly can. I like to sometimes, but it's really not what it's best for. The Chargers is where the Quasar kind of shines. And if there's anything that you think is better versus the Chargers, just in the comments, just let me know. I think it's top tier for the Chargers, and you can, on a higher difficulty, you can kind of just use it that way, just on Chargers, because there are so many, and you won't really run out. And then, you know, secondarily, you can use it versus the Bile Titans if you don't have anything else to deal with that at the moment. But yeah, the Rail Cannon is the best one for that. Problem with it is it just takes forever to recharge, and then you just get that one hit, and usually it doesn't actually kill them one shot. So I mean, it is very good versus it almost one shots. Not quite. Like as you'll see with this one, like I'm about to hit it. Oh no, they killed me. Well, see, but that took a Rail Cannon strike and a Quasar, and then he was still alive and walking around. So that's pretty easy. But yeah, that's how it goes sometimes. That is how it goes sometimes. Another thing I'm using on this loadout here, um, which I haven't talked about, is the orbital laser. Usually I don't use it. I mean, you get 3, which most of the time is fine. In these higher level missions though, you'll be tempted to use it more often than really is how you should. You should really use it on a need basis. So whether that's finishing an objective where you're overrun for a moment, at the very end, I like to use one if things get pretty scary. But yeah, I mean, you just gotta be kind of watching the numbers, because really they're not gonna do anything versus the Battle Titans. They'll help do some damage to them, but it's not gonna really kill a Battle Titan. Maybe one, but it'd have to focus on that Battle Titan once. You want it focusing on the small stuff so it can just get maximum kills. That's what you want. So that's something to think about with the orbital laser. I would say instead of that, most of the time I take the 500 kg bomb or the Eagle airstrike, and this is something this is so annoying. This thing is blocking the freaking path. You gotta find the perfect spot to jump. I kinda do wish they would just add a jump in this game. It's kind of freaking me out sometimes how there's no jump. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just, if y'all like it, just let me know in the comments. I'm interested to see what y'all's thoughts on jumping in Helldivers is, because you can't really do too much with that. Boom, there it is. That's another reason I like the grenade pistol. It can help you actually with the Battle Titans a little bit. They're already really weak. And it'll help you finish them off, because I'll tell you, with the primary, you're not going to do much damage in really probably anything to a Battle Titan. You shoot it, you get empty all of your rounds on it, you're not going to finish it, so don't even ever do that if you do it. The only one exception might be the Eruptor of old, and maybe I haven't used it in a while, so I'll have to test it out and maybe make a video about that soon. But yeah, it's just not the best. For that. Anyways, I still need to get some samples. I don't have all my upgrades, so that's why I'm trying to collect as many samples here as possible. Only level 42, can you believe it? Only level 42. But I can do Helldive missions, so I've already completed a, what is it, impossible right before Helldive? Whoa, I knew that was gonna happen. I love ragdolling in this game, it's pretty fun. It is pretty fun, makes the death worth it sometimes. That's why I laid down there. I know that thing has some serious blowback. Serious blowback. Man, and I still haven't finished this one mission way over here. Did you notice that I've gone there twice and not completed the objective? I think that's the problem with this mission here. I should have used my impact nades. I ended up not using any stun nades, which is dumb of me, but I forgot, kind of. And I'm using my PlayStation controller now, and it's kind of hard to get over to the D-pad sometimes. Like, on the Xbox controller it was actually easier, but I don't like the Xbox controller as much, and I'm getting some weird stick problems. Because probably I squeezed my controller too hard because I was triggered, probably. But anyways, a different discussion. So, finishing this bug hole was pretty challenging, to be honest. I thought I could take it out solo, and turns out it's not the case. Not the case at all. I got the whole squad here. Now, so you can still miss with the Quasar Cannon on these guys. I do miss sometimes, but if they're coming straight forward, this is the thing. If they're chasing you down and you just jump straight to the right or straight back towards them, like just out of their way, you start charging it in the air, you get up, pointed at them. By the time they're turned around and done charging, you'll have a headshot right there, and then they'll be done. So that's why I like it. It's kind of a high risk, high reward situation there, and I do like that. That being said, yeah, if you want to use the expendable pockets or whatever, then those are probably fine as well, but just they're better for missions where you stay in one spot, in my opinion. Just not most of the time. As far as that goes, looks like we're about to be done with this mission. I honestly don't like to stay in with 11 minutes. Usually I'd like to be done with these by 5 minutes left. And I got back in here. I just don't have any ammo left in this. I thought I put down 2 of these, so I don't know where the other one went. Or where I put it. Maybe it's on the map. Alright guys, we can do this. Okay, it looks like he's calling a stratagem that will finish this out. There it is. Oh, the napalm. See the host? See, that's the weird thing. The host of the match gets extra fire damage. That's just kind of weird. And yeah, the rail cannon, I mean, you get it pretty frequently once it's upgraded. I mean, not super duper often. These guys are so annoying. Not as annoying as the invisible ones, or probably the small ones that grab you and jump at you. But those guys are up there in the tier list of annoying creatures. I'll have to do a tier list for bugs, and the S tier would have to be what? The most difficult or my favorite? That's where it's kind of tough with tier lists, because pretty subjective based on just clicking a couple stratagems versus another, or having a couple experiences with some of these guys versus, oh geez. Yeah, see, like this guy should be able to take this guy out pretty easily. May not let me though. I may not. He does not do it. Too many enemies around there. I assume we're about to extract now. This is a long run. Tell you what. It really depends on which difficulty you're playing on as well. So just do whatever works for you, but this is what I found is the best for level 7 and maybe 8. 9 you'd probably want to use something else. On Helldive you'd want to use something else. But anyways. Alright guys, thanks so much for watching. Leave your comments down below. What do you think about this loadout? What do you think about the Quasar Cannon and the Rail Cannon Strike? And of course, the rover as well. Yeah, I mean the orbital laser pretty much 50-50. But anyways, like, subscribe. Thank you. Peace.